Good morning, third graders. It is April 1st, the first day of April, April Fool's Day. Hopefully you haven't pulled too many tricks on your brothers or your sisters or mom and dad. We are on lesson 137 today. We're going to be starting adverbs. We've talked about adjectives. We have learned that adjectives describe nouns. They often tell us what kind of noun, like a yellow banana. How many nouns, like 3 bananas. They may tell us which nouns, like those bananas, or whose nouns, like my banana. Okay, so we've talked about adjectives and the questions they've answered. So we're going to talk about words today that describe verbs. We talked a little bit about this in 2nd grade. Your adverbs. Okay, I have a sentence on the board, and I know it's kind of hard to see with reflection, but it says, Mrs. Lee carefully stepped over the puddle. Mrs. Lee carefully stepped over the puddle. So we ask ourselves, how did Mrs. Lee step? She stepped carefully. So carefully is an adverb because it describes how she stepped. The next one says, Laura spoke quietly to her mom. Laura spoke quietly to her mom. Well, how did Laura speak? She spoke quietly. So you'll notice here, carefully was before the verb here. Here it is after the verb, so you're going to notice that your adverbs are all different places in your sentence, whereas usually adjective, not all the time, is right before the noun. Your adverbs you'll see in the sentences today, those on your paper. So an adverb answers the question how. How did Mrs. Lee step, we talked about, and how did Laura speak? So if you look at page 156, and you look closely, it says an adverb is a word that describes a verb. Some adverbs tell how the action of the verb was done. When I saw the spider on my foot, I yelled loudly. How did I yell? Loudly. In the sentence, look for words that tell how the action was done. David drove carefully. Carefully, Dad drove. Sorry, that's Dad, not David. Dad drove carefully, and then carefully, Dad drove. So you'll see carefully there's actually at the beginning of a sentence. So you have to look really closely to see how they did the action they did in their sentence. On Think A, it says look at the verb and circle the adverb that tells how the action was done. Draw a small arrow from each adverb you circle to the verb it describes. So we'll look very closely. They have the verb underlined for you, and you're going to circle the adverb and then draw your arrow back to the verb. Look closely. Many adverbs end in the suffix ly. If a root word ends in y, change the y to an I before adding ly. So this is a new thing. Many adverbs end in the suffix ly and slowly ly. If a root word ends in a y, change the y to an I before adding ly. So happy, we would change the y to an I and put ly, happily. So add ly to the root words to make adverbs. And think C. Think about the question, how? Write an adverb for each verb that tells how the action might be done. And that is language for today. All right, your math, lesson 137, is a review today. You'll notice over the next few weeks we will have more review because 4th quarter is getting us ready for the next school year, but a lot of the things you do, you'll do again in 4th grade. You probably notice we've done things we've done in 2nd grade, especially at the beginning of the year. You think, well, we've already done that. Well, it's a help to review. So on page 273 and 274, it is a review page. So let's talk through it. Number 1, you're going to follow the signs. If they have a fraction, make sure you've put your fraction in your answer. You're doing adding and subtracting and multiplying. Number 2, you have story problems. Both of them will have 2 steps. B, you're going to have to configure, I'm getting a little tongue-tied today. You're going to I can't even think of the word. It is Miss McNary's April Fool's joke. She can't think of the words today. Okay, you're going to change from yards to feet. So you're going to have to do your 1, 2, 3. Number 3 says write the product. So look closely at your numbers. Number 4 is divide. It says write the remainder as a fraction. Okay. Number 5, write the Roman numerals. 6, round to the nearest dollar. 7, reduce to lowest terms. 8, solve the measurement equation. And number 9, solve the equation. And then number 1, you don't have to do on homework, but number 2, see if you remember those answers. See if you have memorized them. And if not, if your parents don't still have the picture I sent, they can let me know and I can help you with those answers. All right, let's look at science. We're going to talk about joints today in your body. And there are 3 main types of joints. Those that do not move, those that move slightly, and those that move considerably. So your fixed joints are those that don't move. When something is fixed, we think it's repaired, but another definition for fixed is it's done, it's ready to go, or it's stuck right there. Like if it's fixed joint, it's not going to move. They're found in the skull and the pelvis. The spine contains bones with limited movement. Each bone in the spine only moves slightly in either direction, but those combined movements give the effect of one large movement. The combined movement is obvious when the back bends. The arms, hands, legs, feet, hips, and shoulders contain movable joints which move very freely. There are several varieties of movable joints, but the hinge, the pivot, and the ball and socket joints are the focus in this lesson. Connective tissue called ligaments hold bones together, and cartilage and the fluid help make movements smooth. So you're going to read that on page 183 and 184, and then you're going to circle the different kind of hinge joints, pivot joint, and the ball and socket joint on page 184. All right, that is it for our Wednesday. I hope you have an awesome day. I hope you're working hard, and I hope you're also getting some time outside and time with your family, hopefully getting in some reading. I hope you have a wonderful day.